Beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining the channel today. So guys, if this is your first time here, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and support the movement. If you subscribe, you are equally encouraging me to make more videos for us all. Thank you so much. Do not forget to share the video as well, because if you share the video, YouTube is going to tell other people around you or other people looking for the same material on the internet that this is a good video for them to watch. Now, to those of us who apply to universities in Poland or those who intend to move to Poland, this video is for you, and I'm going to be telling you about the requirements for you to study in Poland, or for the requirements you need to apply for a study visa to Poland. Now, let's start with the list of requirements, or with a list of documents that you would compile. But first, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that if you are in West Africa, you should note that it may be impossible for you to get an appointment. I'm not very certain about the situation now, but to those who are away, North Africa and other areas in Africa, they do not have appointment issues. And remember, you cannot go to any country to go and get appointment because there is no appointment in the embassy or in your own embassy or in your home country. So please put this into consideration. It's so important. Now let's go. There are documents you need to apply for a visa to Poland, and I'm going to be giving you some of these documents and equally explaining some of the things that you need to consider if you really want to move to Poland. My name is Milton. If you're just joining, please let me know where you are watching this video from, because it is so important for me to know who is watching me. Thank you so much. So the first document, I have my jotter here. The first document we are going to talk about here is your visa application form. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that if you want to study in Poland in 2024, you have to pay attention to the details on the embassy website. Now, I understand appointment is a big hurdle. I cannot help in this situation. So if you think that you cannot get an appointment from the embassy website, you have to wait and be patient. However, do not wait for too long, because if you are waiting for too long, it is a problem. If you think that Poland cannot actually give you what you are looking at, then I will advise you to look elsewhere. There are a lot of countries in Europe. You just need to look at your budget, then you know where you want to go to. I hope this helps you. Now, when it comes to the visa application form, that's document number one. The visa forms, there are two forms you need. One form for the visa application, then the other form is for your appointment. But on the day of the submission of your documents to the embassy, you are not definitely going to submit the two. You will do just one document. That's, you are submitting just one document to them. So it's so important, guys. Put this into consideration. The next thing you need as part of your visa application is a passport size photograph. I think you need two of this passport size photograph if you want to apply for a student visa to Poland. This is part of the requirement. If you want to do it yourself, it may be complicated. So I would advise you go to a professional photographer. Tell them that you want to use it for visa. Most of them, they know it. Go to somebody who is educated enough to know all of these things. Then explain to them that you need a passport size of 3.5 times 4.5 centimeter. I think it's millimeters or something. Please verify the Polish embassy website for all the details, because if you verify, you are going to understand what they are talking about. The next thing you need is a copy of your international passport. Now, in the case of Poland, you are not photocopying all the pages in your international passport. You are going to do just for the first page, the data page of your international passport. And remember that your passport should not be closer to expiring date. I will advise you, if your passport is anything less than 1 year, please don't submit it. Get a new passport so that you can do or use for your visa application, because it's so important that you put all your documents up to date. The next thing you need is flight reservation. Remember, this is a common reservation. You are not paying for the ticket. You are just reserving a flight. For how to reserve the flights, I will advise you to contact people who do flight tickets. And again, remember that when you reserve, there are some sites that when you reserve, you have to cancel before a particular date so that they don't deduct money from your Visa or MasterCard. It depends. However, reach out to some people who do this job because I do not know for now. One thing you should put into consideration is the date of departure should be the same date that you are going to travel, and it should be the same date on your medical insurance. Now, this takes me to the next document, which is travel medical insurance. This is also one of the documents you need. Now, for proof of funds, I'm going to come back to the proof of funds, or let's just trash it now. When it comes to proof of funds to study in Poland, there are a lot of ways you need. First, please don't just carry 6 million, 7 or 8 million, go today, dump it in an account, then tomorrow you go and you print the statement. That is not proof of funds. That is dumping of money. Proof of funds here is, first thing first, the account must be 6 months old, which means that if you open an account new, make sure it is 6 months old while you are building it. Proof of funds is not about money you go and dump in an account today. No, you have to build the account for over time. Build it slowly over time, so that before you reach the 6 months, the account should be solid. And the reason why they want to see an account that is 6 months or older is because they want to be sure that this account is actually your own, because they know that a lot of people, they open accounts, they don't use it, money and go and jump in the account. No, this is not the way you have to do. Put money slowly. You can put and withdraw. Of course, you have to be using your account. One thing I would like to tell you is that there is no fixed amount for this money that has to be in your bank account, in your sponsor's account. You can be the one, but approximately I would just advise you to have something like 6 million and above. For Nigerians, my Nigerian followers, I do not know how you are going to put the 6 million now, because the currency is so in a funny state right now. But what can help you is you can put in your tuition fee, add it to your accommodation fee, add it to your living expenses for 1 year. Tuition fee for 1 year, accommodation for 1 year, living expenses for 1 year. Then you sum it together, because living costs, money plus accommodation, all those things, the embassy wants to see evidence for 1 year. So if you add it together and you have 6 million, 7 million, fine, you put the money and increase it a bit. Okay, but there is no fixed amount for this. Now, when it comes to the living cost money, you may have I think there is a section on the embassy website that explains how much you need for living costs. Please check it out, it's so important. Now, if you are using a sponsor, you need to get a sponsorship letter. It has to be notarized by a public notary. Tell your sponsor to take it to a public notary. It must be done that way. And your sponsor must also sign this letter. If you are sponsoring yourself, you don't need it again. But if you are using a sponsor, you do need this letter. Then affidavit of relationship by the sponsor. They need to equally write an affidavit of relationship. How are you guys related? Is he your brother? Is he your father? Is he your sibling? Or how are you guys? So you need to write affidavit of relationship and show evidence. Remember that if the person is your spouse, you can bring in their ID card. If the person is your brother, same thing. Parents, same thing. All right. But when you start going to external friends or external family members, I really don't know what I can tell you. On the embassy website, they said it clearly that a family member can sponsor you. So please put all of this into consideration. That is what you need for proof of funds. Then for accommodation, remember you need a document for accommodation. Most schools in Poland will give you accommodation documents. Some will not give you. Okay, this is a guarantee for you. So get the accommodation given to you by the university. Even if you do not like the accommodation, just take it, because if you do not show where you are going to be living in Poland, your visa may be rejected. I'm talking from experience. Okay, so always accept the accommodation, and if you are paying a deposit, you pay immediately. The receipts, your school fees receipt, your application fee receipts, are so important for you to keep all of them in order, because you never can tell, something may happen and they may be needing the receipt. So every document you use for this process, keep it within the receipt. I'm going to talk about that. You must make them and bring them together, and equally remember you must legalize them. Okay, I talked about the process of legalization already in another video on this channel, so please make sure you check the videos on my channel to learn how the process of verification, legalization, authentication and legalization is done. You go to the various ministries till the point of the Polish embassy. But when you are going for legalization, I think that should be when you are going for visa application. you can pay for legalization on that day. But all these certificates, if you are going for bachelor's degree, you need your WAEC certificate and the other documents where your WAEC certificate has to be legalized. All right. Then if you are going for master's, you need your WAEC, you need your BSc transcript and attestation. All these things you have to legalize them, and in addition to the other things like motivation and recommendations, but you must legalize your academic credentials. Okay, then in case you need there is a letter called eligibility letter. If you need eligibility letter, you can get it. For Nigerians, you need to get it. For Cameroonians, I think anything they can ask you is to go and legalize your documents, and in this case go to the GC board and collect confirmations of your O levels and A levels. If you are going for masters, then you get the orders from your university. I hope it's clear now. Now the other document you need is your CV, and your CV must be in the Europass format. There is a picture at the top and some other details. Please check samples of Europass CVs online and use them. It's so important. Then the cover letter you are going to write, there is a cover letter you are going to write, and you have to sign it as well. This is for your visa application. Now remember that when you write the cover letter and you sign it, you need to also attach to the documents that you want to use. Now a few things that must appear in the cover letter include, you have to mention them, and that you have to mention to them that you are just going to study. After you finish your program, you will return back home, and if you have a business, this may support you. If you have a family, this may equally support you. At the end of the day, you might get the visa approved. Okay, so please put all of this into consideration. Also remember, there are a list of documents in fact, all these documents you are submitting, list all of them down one after the other on your cover letter. They read everything, so in case they are reading something, and they will know that this thing is year and year. So please put all of this into consideration. This is what you need to study in Poland. A lot of countries do not have appointments now. That's why I was saying that it's always good, especially now that Canada has increased proof of funds and a whole lot is changing. If you don't have at least 1,000 euros now, in some very quiet places, you may not have accommodation in Canada. So you have to be careful. Choose where you can go. Choose where your money can fit in. I hope you understand. Now, when you are doing, let me say, a bank statement, remember that the closing balance is very, very important. Stop looking at the actual figure. Just bill it slowly. They will never reject this visa from you. I hope this helps you. Let's see if there is any other thing. I forgot the visa fee. Visa fee is 80 euros. Okay, visa fee is 80 euros. And remember, I said you have to go for legalization. Legalization is 30 euros per document. This is at the embassy stage. And of course, if you are being sponsored, you have to show the identity document of that particular sponsor, the identity of that sponsor. And of course, I talked about the proof of funds already. So please put all of this into consideration. It's so important that at the end of the day, we find ourselves here. But again, are you going to give up? No, we keep moving till we meet again in another one.